everybody. And first of all, I just want to say thank you for the add to the Facebook page. I really appreciate it. I spoke to what is like my second mother, Karen Papanicholas. I've known her my entire life, pretty much. Her daughter is my best friend. And I appreciate, and a big shout out to Karen for adding me to this page. It is so great to be able to have a group of people that understand what it's like to be a Republican, what it's like to maybe even be a Democrat that moved over to Republicans. She wanted me to do a video to kind of introduce myself. I am currently a volunteer firefighter for Frederick County, but I did grow up in the DC area. I grew up there for about a good 15, 20 years of my life. I was born in California, and I was also born in a military family. So my dad, big, huge Republican, Master Sergeant in the Marines, hoorah. He's buried currently in Quantico. My grandparents, buried in Arlington. I mean, lived with military life completely. Born in 29 Palms, San Bernardino. Moved to the DC area when my dad was stationed in Quantico. Big, huge part of my Republican family. But then there was my mom. My mom was an immigrant from Ireland. She married my father, had two beautiful children, me and my brother. And for majority of my life, my mom had been a Democrat and a liberal. And she also was unable to vote because she was an immigrant. So when I became of age to vote, when I was 18, my mom kind of pounded it in my head, like, you are a Democrat. You should vote Democratic. I would vote Democratic. You should vote Democratic. And for reasons I don't even know why, I listened to her. I thought that, Democratic was a great party. They help out, the middle class. They're just really good for us. My mom had beaten this into my head, and without any kind of clear view of what both parties were, even though my dad was a Republican, he was kind of quiet Republican, like most are, never really said anything about it. My mom had beaten it into my head that I was a Democrat. And if I went to go vote, I should at least vote Democratic for her. So this is where, for a long time, from the age of 18 to about 30, I voted Democratic because my mom told me to. And I know it was stupid. It was completely a waste of votes. As like the Hodge twins say, like, it is literally a long time of voting that I should have been voting Republican. It was an election that came up. I'm not even exactly sure. When I was 30 years old, there was an election coming up. I sat down for the first time with a clear view. I didn't want to be bombarded by my mom's ideas or my dad's ideas. I was married at the time and, had two children. It's my own view. So I sat down and I kind of looked at the Democratic Party, looked at the Republican Party, and made my clear choice. Come to find out, I'm a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I have a lot of Republican views. I have a lot of conservative views. I have a lot of views that have nothing to do with Democrats. So this is where I went ding with a light bulb and decided I'm a Republican. Since then, I have devolved big time into the criminal justice field, into being a firefighter in emergency management situations. I was a dispatcher for Frederick County for a while, and right now pursuing my BA in criminal justice. So this is where my Democratic conservative views really tie into that. So this is where I didn't, like I said to Karen, I didn't walk away. I ran away. I ran so far from Democratic views because it just baffled my mind to think that I thought that this was a good idea. And I'm glad I'm a Republican now. I'm glad, and it shows me every day. Every day I watch the news. I watch Fox because they're more Republican. And it just baffles me every day that for so many years, for pretty much 12 years, I voted for a party that I didn't believe anything of. And that's where I voted for that because somebody told me to. It wasn't even that I was informed. and that I was making this choice myself. I voted for it because somebody told me to. And that's where, if I can be a part of something that informs people to make a clearer choice of who you really are, who you really should vote for, and even if they are informed and decide to go with a Democratic Party anyways, that's their choice. And that's awesome. And that is great. But as long as you're informed and as long as you understand what is exactly going on, and to understand how our government works, I've taken many classes on this, and how it all falls into place and how these people are representing us as a country. If you're informed like that and you want to vote Democratic or Republican, that's great. Or if you want to vote for independent, whatever it is, that's fine. But people need to be more informed. I wasted 12 years of not being informed. Thanks for the ad.